Welcome to another ultra-wide preview. This time we're looking at Boundary. Boundary is from Studio Surgical Scalpels and Skystone Games, and was released on April 13th into early access. It sold 100,000 copies within its first 24 hours on Steam. This is a tactical multiplayer first-person shooter set in space, with team versus team battles in zero or low-gravity environments. It's a unique shooter that I've only ever seen once before, and ever since its announcement, I've been reminded of Shattered Horizon, which came from FutureMark, the 3D Mark benchmark people. It released back in 2009, and it was essentially a DirectX 10 showcase, and it melted PCs at the time. It wasn't far off from Crysis, but it was extremely demanding and utilizing PhysX for a lot of its zero-G tech. And in most cases, you had to turn it off to even get it to run well, defeating the purpose. While the similarities aren't one-to-one, they are very close, and Boundary does feel, in a lot of ways, a successor to that game. You'll use the EVA suit for movement, and you'll move essentially in 6 degrees of freedom. You're up, down, left, right, even though none of that really exists in space for the purposes of explanations anyway. That's what you do. You have an afterburner that acts as a sprint that will kind of propel you in any direction that you are moving in. Then there are 5 modes to play currently. Domination is a 3-point capture mode that you'll need to hold until the timer runs out or until the score is reached to win. Team Deathmatch is exactly what you think it is. The first team to reach the kill limit wins. Purge is an elimination mode where there's no respawns. Sabotage is essentially Call of Duty's search and destroy mode where you plant bombs. Invasion is like Battlefield's breakthrough mode. There are 6 operators that make up the game's playable classes. Orlin is a firearms expert with the default assault rifle and EMP grenades. Probe is the scout with a DMR. Leeway is a sniper with snapshot grenades. Fort is equipped with an LMG. Doc is, a combat medic with SMG prowess. And lastly, Spike is an assassin that's quiet except when firing their shotgun. Customization is mostly skin-based. Each character and weapon can be equipped with its own skin, unlocked through play or found on Twitch. Additionally, guns can be modified to adjust the muzzle, barrel, fire mode, grip, optic, ammo, and stock. There's multiple kinds of progression: account, character, and weapon. The more you use any of each, the more you'll have access to and unlock through play. You'll have freedom of choice, but some maps or modes demand a different style of play that others on your team might not be providing, and you can easily switch to that. In general, the game has been bug-free and runs incredibly well. The only issue I ever run into is that there's a plethora of typos and my filters aren't remembered for the modes that I want to play and the servers that I don't want to play on. Other than that, though, there's really nothing to complain about. Throughout the gameplay, I've left the game audio in, and it's really interesting how audio is such a huge deal pretty much in every other game, but here it's handled a lot different. Because you're in space, technically there's no sound, but the way they do it here is a nice compromise. Pretty much all of the sound is muffled, but there's little odds and ends that kind of add up. There's little pings on the radar that kind of let you know where people are. It's quiet, but if someone uses their boosters or kind of is walking around a structure, you can hear that and you'll know exactly where they are. I think it's really neat the way that the lens distortion happens with the player camera, kind of simulating the space helmet, like a really clean space helmet. Like there aren't scratches, there's not dirt on it. There's not kind of any griminess to it. It's a really clean space helmet for what it is, and it's just a really neat effect. I just kind of think that audio and the visuals really play nice together, and I think that's kind of, you know, aside from the gameplay aspect, one of my favorite things about it. Well, that's all that I have. I think Boundary is something definitely worth checking out, even though it's in early access. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of the match play out without any future cuts. I'll go ahead and put a link to the game in the description. Thank you as always for your time, and be good to each other.
Alpha is lost.